Top right side, the good game gaming man himself. He's the blue Protoss. He is Patience. His opponents in the red, he is also a Protoss. He's the Dragon Phoenix gamer. He is ZEST. I almost wanted to say that this feels like an old horse versus the new horse kind of situation, but Patience has been around for a really long time as well. It just feels like he has kind of been reborn in a way recently. He has been hitting a lot more strides. He has been able to get a lot more value being achieved for himself. He has been able to just, you know, get a lot more victories on his side than he used to. And oh, it's quite nice to see that Patience picking it up here later on. Both of them getting away with the pylon block here. Kind of something that needs to happen. If it only happens to you, then you're kind of screwed. So yeah, the pylon blocks there for the Nexus is very important. Cybercore, not optimally placed there for Patience, I believe, because of the probe presence, but I mean, has to get it down as quickly as possible, of course. Cannot afford a delay in your Cybercore. Both of them making a zealot to try and get rid of that pylon as well, of course. I think ZEST a little bit further along, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's already gone. Oh, even the Cybercore. The extra bully Metron. Cybercore takes a long time to take out, guys. Especially if you don't have any probes being pulled with it as well. Could be a long time before we see a Nexus here for Patience. Now, to be fair, there are 150 minerals extra here for ZEST being spent on the Cybercore. Clearly also going to delay him. Okay, goes for the cancel, and usually you get your Cybercore now. This is a beautifully placed Stalker, by the way. Very well done. Denies a lot of damage here being dealt. Still 2 probes go down, but that could have been a lot worse. So very well done by Patience there. Kind of saving the day in a sense with very nice Stalker placements. I did not anticipate that Stalker to block both sides of that area, but apparently you did, and well done. Both players going for the Stargate. Looks like ZEST a bit more willing to commit to the Void Race here as well, further along. Patience going quickly in a transition with the Twilight Council. Shield battery. Oh my... Oh, that is... Oh, ZEST. ZEST. Oh, well, luckily he has a second base, but I'm not sure how many probes are actually mining from that second base. That is almost everything. That is almost everything. Oh, that status trap. I cannot believe that still went off. I guess ZEST cannot believe that still went off. Okay, they just went back to work. He's trying to do a bit of the same thing here. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, revenge. Okay, but the Stalkers here come in mostly. That's the main thing. Missing their shots just barely. Nor getting rid of the Void Ray, nor getting rid of the shield battery. GG is called. ZEST takes game number 1 there. After quite a weird, strange couple of turns, if I say so. some odd twists happened there, that series there. That probably should not have happened overall. But, you know what? Oh well, you live and you learn. Next game, let's see. What was the next game going to be? I guess I'll have to scroll through all of the chatter and what's going on. Oxide, Death Aura, Romanticide, Juggernaut, Submarine, and then Lightshade. If we ever do get that, of course. But anyway, Oxide will be map number 2. Let me give this to Inu as well. Just loading in here. Waiting for everyone to press the agree to join a lobby kind of button. Give their consent. Just need their signature on the papers there and we'll be good to go. Alright. Oxide it is. Looks like we have a countdown, but no pressing. Oh, okay, there we go. The Korean caster slash organizer always likes to do the countdown in the chat first, like a 3, 2, 1, and then he presses the go button. But yeah, sometimes he just doesn't press go. He does the countdown, and then he just makes us sit there, wait. All right. 1 point not being acquired just quite yet by this man here in the blue colors. He's the Protoss man from the Good Game Gamers. Patience. Bottom left side, the red Protoss player fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is ZEST. Lovely. And on exploration missions the probes go. Or is this something more sinister? No, it will just be the scouting. Alright. Fair enough. It is a map where sometimes people do try to get away with the Nexus first on. It's a nice area where at your natural base, of course, where it becomes a little bit easier to hold anything because of the high ground area. It's a nice place to have battles happen for you. You got a nice choke point there as well. Once again, the bullying commits. Both these players realizing, you know what, let's not let you get away with a quick Nexus here. Force out another Zealot once again as well. Yeah, ZEST does seem to just make the Zealot a lot quicker than his opponent does here. And that in turn should allow him to get that Nexus up a lot quicker, of course, as well. Unless Vig is the player that does get Cybercore blocked this time around. Patience still has his probe around. Might try to do it. Looks like he's thinking about it. There he goes. Does just pop it down. Oh, put down a proxy pylon in the base of ZEST as well here. Cybercore also being brought in by ZEST. Neither of these players messing around here. Full commitments. Alright, so what can we do with that pylon right there? I suppose the most obvious thing would just be warping to 2 adepts, right? 2 adepts should be more than enough to get an enormous, ludicrous amount of damage done. Make that all worth it. If you really want to go hard on your opponent, you could try to warp in 4 of them as well. Send 2 to each base. Bit more micro for you, of course, to manage, as you will have to target fire, most likely. Your opponent will have units out and about in the base. So if you don't target fire the probes, your units will not attack the probes. And as well as, of course, if there are shield batteries, you need to target fire each individual probe. And have the timing of the attacks kind of be simultaneously. Right, that's the first 2 adepts. Let's see if he waits for another 2 or if he just kind of goes in with this. We'll go in immediately. There we are. 1 and a 2 and a 3. Alright, already pretty darn strong. Goes out of the base, actually. Thought he would go into the natural here, but decides to just vacate the area entirely. And ZEST not entirely sure how those adepts got in. Must have been a moment when I wasn't looking at the minimap. Most likely on his mind right now. It's gonna go take a look for it. The end of the proxy pylon. That's a rough time for Patience, I suppose. Will not allow him to continue onwards with any of this. Still has the 2 adepts though, I suppose. Does get 2 more probes. But that is going to be the interception. That is going to be the end. Oh, wait a moment. They never got the finishing blow on that pylon here. Gonna attempt another warp in. 2 DTs this time around. Do we have a real answer for DTs? So far, we do not. We'll need to make an oracle here as quickly as possible. Nope. It's just GG. GG is called. And wow, what a play there by Patience. Just comes in with the DTs afterwards. It's like, well, if you're not going to kill this pylon, I will just win the game off of the back of this pylon. And that's what he did. That's what he managed to do. Well played, Patience. ZEST, I mean, it's a bit of a unflattering way to lose, I suppose, right? But it happens. It happens to everyone. It turns out, you know, makes all the rest of us feel less bad about not seeing that there's a pylon in our base for a good amount of minutes. A good amount of minutes, even after units were warped in from that area. But, you know what? With the effort there by Patience, he made the gamble play and it worked out. So, you know what? Well played, well played. Game number 3 already. Death Aura here. Tied up once again, these players, all to play for. Here we go. The top left side, we got ourselves a blue Protoss player fighting for the good game gamers. He is Patience. Bottom right side, the red Protoss fighting for the Dragon Phoenix. Gamers. He is ZEST. So weird things happening all along the line here. Let's see what we have in store for this one. Not a lot of cheese, not a lot of proxies happening with this PvP so far. Both of the players just kind of sitting on by in the finals here, is doing their macro plays. Some slight aggression here and there, sure, but real cheese, I mean, other than a single pylon in your opponent's base, is that a cheese, or Is that just kind of, you know what? Let's try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That is fine. Oh, thank you for the sub, Sushi. Much appreciated, dude. Thank you. Looks like the bot is having some difficulties here today, but I much appreciate it anyway. Even though it's not popping up on the screen. Little ring around the rosy. So far, no pylons being thrown down just quite yet with the Nexus blocking. Kind of funny how both these players going around the same kind of ideas here. It's like, alright, well, if you're not blocking my Nexus, I'm not blocking your Nexus this time. Well, you want me to block your Nexus now? Is that what's going on here? Well, then I won't. It's just, it feels weird. Patience going for a couple more Stalkers, where ZEST is going to throw down the Nexus. Will attempt to gain the upper hand in the economy. Looks like that is what he will achieve. Patience not really in a position to try and punish this. Will have to go in for his own Nexus as well. There we go. A little bit slower overall, but still nothing game decisively, right? Still in this. Two proxy pylons there coming down for both these players. There's a red one and a blue one. And both of them kind of leaving the proxy pylons alone. I do think the two probes saw one another as they were running away from the pylons. But I guess both of them kind of hoping like, oh boy. I hope he doesn't put the puzzle pieces together that I have a proxy pylon over there. I don't even know. Probably shouldn't happen on this level. There's two adepts from ZEST. The aggression from our red Protoss. Blue Protoss man himself. Not entirely sure what he wobs in. Could be adepts. Most likely adepts. Let's just assume that it's adepts because what else would it be? Only now getting this this natural up. Oh, the adepts get into the main base. Oh boy, I think there's a similar situation on the side of ZEST though. To be fair, yeah, bit better dealt with though. To be fair, probes being pulled off. Another one does go down. 8 of them in total so far. ZEST really having the upper hand here with this aggression from the early on period. Very well played there, ZEST, grabbing himself an early on lead with, well, actually 6 probes in total there. That is combining the adept aggression, going better for him, and having that natural base a lot sooner, of course. Having that, well, more probe production earlier on, getting you ahead as well. Should all be providing him a nice way to combust on forwards into the match. Figure out where he has to take the rest of this game. That's all you gotta do. Could try to take out a couple of sentries here, but we'll try to just move in with a couple of adepts. That's interesting. Maybe he thought he shaded and he didn't shade. I don't know. Very peculiar. It felt like adepts that thought they were shades, but they weren't. You know what I mean? Alright. Both of these players going for third bases. Respecting one another quite heavily right now. Neither of them willing to commit to any type of a real fight. And both of them just looking to maintain any advantage they might have against their opponents, whether that be shield batteries or defender's advantage, anything of the sorts. A little bit of a better army composition, which is why these phoenixes are floating around continuously, trying to make their army as suitable to fight against their opponent's army as possible. Hallucinated phoenixes once again are taken out. We still have the 2 proxied pylons as well, by the way, right? Just kind of sitting there, chilling, waiting for their orders to warp in harassment units. Alright. Patience. Still a little bit behind in the worker count, but not as severely as it once was. Starting to get more tech unlocked here as well. Should have himself a couple of disruptors to play with. Or maybe even going for the Colossi. In the not too distant future. But will that future still be too distant? For as we may have ZEST already moving across the map here. Although it looks like that is just a bit of scouting, just a bit of picking up on what his opponent is throwing down. Awkward wall of gateways here that you don't see every day. Not entirely certain what the purpose of that is. Could it be a depths? Oh well, we'll see. Zealot run-bys, something like that. It's going to make it more difficult to take that base though. That's the problem I sense with it. So we now have ZEST taking a 5th base. We still have Patience on 3 bases. So, Patience, I'm not sure what you're trying to do here, buddy, but you may have to hurry it along. Like, what's going on? Does he not know that he's... Yeah, he does. Alright. Interesting. So he knows that he's, well, been 2 base versus 3 base for a long period of time. And it's going to be 5 base versus 4 base pretty soon. ZEST utilizing that extra money that he has now to purchase himself 2 Stargates, get himself the weapon upgrades as well, and start to get it ready for the extreme late game. So ZEST here really pulling the strings behind the scenes here. Keep feeling like Patience is going up to 5 bases, but it really is just 4. It's because of that massive blob of gateways on the map. Just makes it look like, alright, yeah, there's another base right there, isn't there? Nope. Oh, could have a bit of a battle here. A lot of zealots. All the zealots, actually. Getting swiped underneath the rug by the blue Protoss. Not a good scout there. Sees that Patience is moving on forward still. Patience's army supply is pretty darn strong right now. If he does want to make a move, this could be the moment before ZEST has himself that air army available. Yes, a lot of his army supply stuck in that production here, of course. A lot of his overall money as well stuck in trying to get that going. He's moving forward still. He's looking for the fight in the army versus army, not just taking out bases, it seems. Although taking out bases, that's a good way to force the army to fight you. Where's he going? Where is he going? Finding the 2 lone Colossus that are just trying to group up with the rest of the army here. Taken out. 5 to 4 zealots. Tasked with being able to rip apart all those probes. As the army for Patience still quite terrifying, but ZEST has been able to group up and loot up some more units overall. I don't think this is all of it. There we go. There's some more units coming in right now. Let's see if it was enough time bought for him. Oh, those disruptor shots are magnificent. Patience, he is just winning games off of disruptor shots, isn't he? It feels that way. It's starting to feel that way. A couple of the carriers come in, but it looks like the Stark is already underneath. I mean, he could just try and target down all the interceptors here as well. Should be okay. There we go. And yeah, as this carnage continues onwards, ZEST tries to scramble up anything he can, but it's just not enough. It is just not enough. Patience allowed to do whatever he feels like. And we'll just move on in here with an enormous amount of Stalkers ready to take on the carrier transition. And ready to take on anything on the ground with the help of the disruptors. So well played there by Patience. Takes game number 3 as well. Bringing us in a 2-to-1 situation. Patience starting to take the lead. The initiative is on his side right now. Romanticide, Juggernaut, Submarine and Lightshade will be our next maps, of course. Still yet to come, if we do manage to be as lucky as to get to the map number 7, of course. We'll see. Romanticide. Is that a good map for ZEST to tie things up again? Would that be a good map for Patience to further increase his advantage? There we go. Loaded on in. I swear, if Patience also takes out ZEST here, I am going to go full on board of the Patience train. Like, if he takes out ZEST in a fairly convincing manner, then, I mean, that is really something else, guys. I feel like that is Patience perhaps on the rise to becoming one of the best Protoss overall that is available right now. Or at least I can see a trajectory for him starting to aim for that ambition. And I don't think it's too far-fetched if he just keeps on performing like he's been doing so far. Alright. Game number 4, Romanticide. Here we will go. Lift off. There we are. Wonderful, wonderful. We have settled. In the top left side, we got ourselves a blue Protoss player fighting for the good game gamers. He is, of course, Patience. In the bottom right side, his opponent, of course, fighting for a different pack of gamers, the Dragon Phoenix kind. He is ZEST. And as we continue onwards with the PvP, you have to wonder when in the world is someone gonna proxy a Void Ray rush. It is bound to happen. We all know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. We're just waiting patiently for that moment, and as soon as it arrives, we will all rejoice knowing that that player will, well, 80% of the time be a clear victor in our book. Maybe not in the game as much, but in our book, clearly. Alright. For somebody that does a lot of probe harassments, really not somebody that is too keen on getting his own probes harassed by a probe. He's just going to do the same thing here across the field. It's like, alright, you want to do this to me? I'll do this to you. How about that? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Trying his best to get those misconnections on the probes. Make them think, oh, this mineral patch is busy. Let me go elsewhere. Now comes the dance of the Nexus, of course. The Nexus and the pylon. Who goes for the block? Who doesn't go for the block? Looks like neither of them so far going for the block. We do have patience with a pylon on the low ground though, so more likely that he will be going for the expand a little bit sooner here. Although that being said, there's a probe hidden pretty close to the natural base. That, I mean, we already have the Twilight Council coming up. I just doubt that that is going to be a Stargate proxy right now still, right? That is just too little too late. Oh, Adepts. Okay, Adepts not committing here. Looks like Patience ready with whatever he needed to do. Warp Gate's about to finish up. This could just be a warp in location for Adepts as well, of course. I don't know entirely. I would imagine that's the case now as we see two Starkers being warped in. And a gateway coming down there as well. Alright, still quite a bit of pressure from our blue Protoss. Making it look like he wants to go for the expansion, but at the same time making it look like he really doesn't quite want to all so much. Oracle looking for damage as well. This one is of the red origin, of course. So whatever's blue's got to watch its back right now. Is that Dark Shrine? Yes, it is. Okay, Dark Shrine on the other side of the field. Patient's going to try to eke this one out with a little bit of cheese. Just a slight bit of cheese. Zest should be aware that something fishy is happening here, though. He's going to start moving on and try to take control of this match. Wants to try and get rid of as many of those Adepts as possible before they really manage to do anything here, or worse, group up with an even stronger army and then do something even worse than worse. Worse horrendous. Right, DTs did not get spotted there, or at least the Shimmers didn't, by these two Oracles. So the Oracles, sure, they do have themselves a bit of stealth detection, but they don't have the ability to utilize that stealth detection all the way from across the field. Getting one of the DTs, but 6 probes already have been killed off, so putting Patience back into a reasonable position here as well. Those DTs, they must have caused quite a stir here for Zest. May not feel comfortable to send his Oracles across anymore. Does so anyway. Because you should not be sending in DTs into my army anymore. I guess that's the takeaway from that situation. Oh, will he see this one? Doesn't quite see that one. Of course, DTs don't show up on your minimap anymore either. You don't have a shimmer on your minimap. Okay. I mean, he's getting probes. He's got 6 of them. Maybe could have gone on 7. I don't know entirely, but 6 probe kills. Pretty good. Pretty good. Great stuff. Adepts scouting around with their shades, finding the potential entry to the T harassment, Adept harassment, all that stuff. Will kind of be forced to try and deal with it at this moment. We'll just kind of be overwhelmed eventually, which may happen anyway. Good targeting there from Patience. Warping in the Stalker that is still, you know, or shooting down the Stalker that is still warping in. Does take that extra damage there, of course. Oh, again, trying to gain entry here. Would be nice. Would mean he could try to blink on top of the high ground into the main base. With the vision of that adept right here. Oh, gets in this time. This is going to go for the probes though. There's a shield battery there. Not much to see. Now we'll go to provide vision for those Stalkers. Stalkers already getting a bit surrounded here though. Let's see what's still in the main base waiting for them. It is nothing. Bit of a missed perceived threat here from our red Protoss. Thinking that it would have been okay. Had he just made another investment. And at this moment in time, I don't know guys. I feel like Patience is kind of doing it, isn't he? Kind of pulling the strings here. He's got the worker count, he's got the army count. May still lose some of the army count, but he's most likely going to kill some more probes while he's doing so as well. And not even going to lose too many of his Stalkers either. Very well done. And this is with Patience. Not playing that bad either, right? We've seen that he's been able to get better and better results endlessly. So, that wasn't too long ago. I wonder what's changed. I wonder what's changed. Could it just be that he doesn't do that much in the into the Alpha X tournaments, but the other ones he's like, alright, this one. This is the one I want to win. I don't know. I don't know. He's still giving a good fight here. He's taking a good couple of hits on the nose. May need to go see a doctor here momentarily. Let's see how he manages to correct the mistake. Or correct the breakage. Heck of a lot of zealots there. All ready to charge on in. There's no Archons available for ZEST. It's going to be a rough one. The Archon for Patience as well. Getting rid of the force fields is a very big deal. And there it is. GG is called. Patience takes game number 3 as well. Will set himself up on match point already after a short 4 games in his best of 7. Patience. Are we just seeing Patience becoming the new god tier Protoss player overall? Is that what the future holds for us? Will Patience and Trap just be ping-ponging back and forth between the Protoss crown? It might be a little bit too soon to say. Let's get real, but honestly, this type of stuff over here that we're seeing from Patience really making me look forward to seeing Patience in the bigger tournaments again, right? Whether it be GSL, any type of Katowice, ESL, whatever is going on, whatever he's playing in. Because he is looking super solid. Will he continue to look super solid for one more game here? Or will he start to show some cracks that are abusable enough here for ZEST to start taking some games as well? We'll have to wait and see. Well, to be fair, he only lost... he did win one game, right? He did win one game. He only lost 2 more than he lost versus Patience. Alright. Here we go. And top right side, we got ourselves a blue Protoss player fighting for the good game gamers. Patience. His opponent, fighting in the red, the Dragon Phoenix Gamers crew, he is ZEST. ZEST. ZEST here today so far, showing that he is pretty darn good at the ZV or the PvC again, but the PvP kind of being mysterious for him so far. He's struggling, that is for sure. Having some difficulties figuring out exactly what and when to do. And what and when time. ZEST here, a little bit later with that second gas. Could he be going for a quicker nexus here? Patience gets the scout. But so does ZEST, of course. Oh, careful. Don't want to get locked in there, of course. Shot out of the arms of your own society. By the gruesome electricity of other probes. Alright. You have to wonder if ZEST is going to go into the disruptor attack as well, yeah, at some point. We have seen him utilize it in other matchups. Not as much in this one, though. Still goes for the pylon. Looks like ZEST responding in kind. Also putting down the pylon here. Still feels weird that these players are just doing the exact same thing, but then on their opponent's side of the field. With these types of openings. Do I put the pylon down? Yes. Do I try to block my opponents? No. So then what's the use of a pylon? You ask? Well, to warp in stuff. Secretly. Stalkers for ZEST there on the move. So managed to get quite a bit of a force assembled. Finds a couple of the Stalkers of his opponent as well. With the speed zone here, he's going to be able to catch up to those Stalkers. And will be able to shoot down 2 of them. While he only loses 1. May even get 3 of them here. This started off with both players having 4 Stalkers. But just because of patience being spread out too thin. Having a lot of difficulties here. Okay, another 2 Stalkers come in. Finally turning the favor enough into patience favor. He is going to be able to stop the bleeding right now. Needs to continue onwards, making more units though, of course. As he did start making a nexus right now. May already be trying out a plan B. Might already just be planning to put up pressure on his opponents, which is ZEST right now, and then just back up as soon as he realizes, alright, you seems like you've invested quite a bit in defenses. So far, this is not a great start. Clearly not the best. He apparently does not have Blink, does he? Does he not have Blink? I thought he had Blink. He doesn't. Okay. Ah, there's the Twilight Council. Must have been a previous game. I'm confused with. Probably. Depths get blocked. That's what we like to see. Block those adepts. A necessary thing. Okay, let's go for the cancel there. Yeah, smart choice. Probably not a shade you want to commit to. Even if it does bring you into the main base. Ooh, proxy scouted. Figured out. Stalker here. Trying to get blocked on his way though. And the proxy does stay alive for now. Patience still has a reinforcement point, which is quite important, as I think that's kind of what he was banking off of having. Coming in with quite a lot of units here. Army supply almost dead even. And that is with a couple of Immortals going into ZEST's favor. So, not entirely certain if an attack will go into Patience' favor either. Although we may have a fight here regardless already. This is a good one for Patience so far. Getting a lot of those Stalkers. Good force fields. And yeah, okay. ZEST there overstepping quite severely. Could cost him this game right now. Oh, but it's another Immortal. 2 Immortals here. That may be too much. The target fire is quite severe, but look at the damage that those Immortals managed to do. We'll be able to stop the Protoss moving forwards. Blink is that finally ready? Yes, it is. Going after the Immortal. As soon as that is down, finally, there we go. Maybe this is now the moment for Patience to start pushing forwards. It's very close in Stalker numbers. I'm surprised that ZEST is not running away a little bit further in order to get himself on top of the shield battery. There we go. Does do so right now, and that forces Patience backwards. And that forces him as well to take bad trades, I suppose, if he does try and take a fight with a shield battery there as well. Still no blink though, and that is the big deal trade here. ZEST needs to be careful. Another bit of warping in taking place for both players, trying to get as much as possible here assembled. More Immortals actually also of course still being produced. The first one will be coming up here for ZEST momentarily. First of the well, of its kinds, after all of the other ones were killed off, of course. Quite a lot of Stalkers there for Patience. Needs to be careful. Okay, jumping forward. Will attempt some massive damage here, but the Immortals again just too strong. Especially with the War Prism there. Juggling them along. Patience, I'm not so sure if he needs to continue onwards along this path. That bottom right nexus not quite being spotted out just yet either, so Patience unaware. Ooh, almost getting the War Prism. That would have been a good catch. But his warp-in location here might finally have met its match. I don't think he's going to be able to hold on here for a very long time. Needs another good force field. Does manage to do so. Gets the Warp Prism as well. Is that going to be enough here? Blinks on the side. Tries to get on top of one of the Immortals. Zealots now come in as well. Immortals shooting the Zealot. That's never a good thing. This allows Patience to make a lot of way happen for his Stalkers. And he gets on top of this third base nexus. This is a wonderful trade here for Patience. GG is called. Patience takes game number 5 as well. And will claim victory with a 4-1 versus ZEST here.